A long time ago now, I made a short video about Jeong Jeong and why he might be the most powerful firebender of all time, and recently, for some reason, that short has kind of blown up, at least in terms of, how small my channel is. So today I wanted to make a full video about Jeong Jeong, a more detailed video, not just about why he might be the most powerful firebender of all time, but also why he's one of my favorite characters in all of Avatar. And if you don't remember who Jeong Jeong is, well, then I hope you don't call yourself an actual Avatar fan, because he is a pretty goated character and he does show up multiple times. But Jeong Jeong was first introduced in Season 1, Episode 16, The Deserter, and he is supposed to be Aang's firebending mentor, but he initially refuses because he knows that Aang is too undisciplined, Aang is too young to learn firebending, until Roku steps in and he's like, this is literally the Avatar, this is me reincarnated, so you better try to teach me. And he does try to teach, but then his concerns about Aang turned out to be true, and Jeong Jeong is like, yeah, I told you so. And that is kind of how the episode goes, except along with that, we also see some of the greatest firebending feats of all time from Jeong Jeong. I'm not even exaggerating, he does some crazy stuff, some things that most firebenders, like literally every firebender except for Jeong Jeong and maybe like 2 other firebenders, they would need Sozin's Comet to do this kind of stuff, but Jeong Jeong just does it without breaking a sweat, and it's just so just cool. And this dude has so much aura, and he's an old man, and oh my gosh, he's such a great character, guys. And this is gonna be pretty much just me repeating what I said in the short, but some of his feats include this huge firewall. This is maybe his most impressive feat because he just raises pretty effortlessly this huge firewall in the water to stop Zhao and his ships, and he makes the wall and then he just stares it down. He's like, yeah, I did that. And then Zhao walks through and Jeong Jeong lowers the firewall as effortlessly as he put it up, and there's no flames set behind. He doesn't set anything on fire. He's just in complete control of this massive firewall. And then after that, he gets surrounded by Zhao's troops. For some reason, Zhao just is like, go get him, troops, even though he knows that Jeong Jeong is like, he's gonna destroy all of them if he wanted to. But instead, because he's such a nice guy, because he doesn't fight anymore, he just magically disappears with firebending. Not exactly sure how. I guess he just ran off to the side after making a huge fire distraction, but it's pretty impressive either way. And it shows that, he's old, but he got the moves. And then we don't see him again for the whole episode. He only returns in the final couple episodes of the show in Sozin's Comet, and with the power of the comet, first of all, he just flies effortlessly, which is not, other firebenders can maybe do that. I don't know if we even see many firebenders do that in The Last Airbender. We see Azula, she does these super high jumps with firebending, but I don't know if anybody flies like Jeong Jeong does. And while he's flying, he raises more massive firewalls and pushes these huge metal tanks with them. Like, he is literally soloing the Fire Nation army, and he's just chilling up there. He's just chilling, mouth shut, calm face. He's like, yeah, I did that. Like, even with Sozin's Comet, who else is doing this, bro? Like, do you think even Iroh is capable of flying like this? I mean, Jeong Jeong is just like, he's just crazy. Who else is doing this? I guess Ozai could do it because Ozai is from a strict power level. He might be the most strong firebender, but he's not the most disciplined and he's not the most strategic. He's just full of rage. So he can probably do these things, but he doesn't have as much control as Jeong Jeong. And even though we do see him kind of fly in Sozin's Comet when he's fighting Aang, it's not like Jeong Jeong flies. It's not as sustained, as controlled. It's kind of just, he's using it as more of a boost and not as, like I said, sustained flight like Jeong Jeong does. But speaking of Ozai, you might bring up that the creators literally said that Ozai is the most powerful firebender. And even though I would not have canonized that if I was the creator or writer, who am I to say that the creators themselves are wrong? It's their show, and that is canon, that Ozai is the most powerful firebender. But if I created the show, I would have canonized Iroh or Jeong Jeong being the most powerful, because I don't really think that it's good to have Ozai be canonically the most powerful, because then your magic system is rewarding that inferior, more undisciplined, that more rage-fueled and just bad method of firebending, when to truly become the greatest firebender, I think it should be a result of discipline and truly mastering and appreciating the bending and not just using your rage to become the most powerful. I don't think it really fits, and I think it kind of is not that big of a deal, so I don't know why I'm rambling about it, but that's just what I'm saying. And I just think that Jeong Jeong, even if you do want to just go with the whole Ozai being the most powerful thing because the creator said so, I think Jeong Jeong needs some more respect. But anyway, the reason why he's one of my favorite characters in Avatar, and I have a lot of favorites, but he's maybe like top 5, which is saying a lot for Avatar because there's so many good characters. But anyway, it's because he is so disciplined and he did firebending the right way. He didn't just learn how to firebend, but he learned what firebending is. He learned to appreciate it and to understand it and to know just how dangerous it is, but also how much potential it has, even potential to destroy. And I think that he kind of views firebending as too much of a curse when it can also be a blessing, like every kind of bending can be. But him thinking of firebending the way he does, that's a very crucial part of his character, so I wouldn't change that at all. Jeong Jeong is kind of like Iroh in that they're both very powerful firebenders. They're both very disciplined. They both understand firebending better than anybody else. But Jeong Jeong is kind of just a more cool and mean version of Iroh. And with that concept for a character, it's hard to go wrong. Even saying that a character is just kind of like Iroh, that's a pretty big compliment. And Jeong Jeong, he is kind of like Iroh, even though there are some big differences, obviously. But what do you think of Jeong Jeong? And what do you think of what I had to say in this video? Please let me know.